Hello So Slow Stitchers and welcome to our channel. Here's the update for the journal, Woxie's Journal of Stitchery. I wasn't able to talk on this video yesterday as I haven't really been feeling well. Anyway, here we have the lining piece we were talking about. What I wanted to explain to you was how we come to put a pocket in, and actually what I've done as well is been able to turn it over at the end. Yeah, so the pocket has a trim. I keep saying trim, I don't mean that either, I mean edging strip, yes, so that it's not because obviously the pocket's going to be used a lot. Anyway, my final measurements were 21. How did I come to that measurement? So the measurements of my pouch were 12 inches by 6 inches, and my pocket was 4.5 inches. So to make the lining with a pocket, you need to have the 12 inches, which is the length, plus the pocket, the bit that comes up the pocket, which is 4.5, and you need to times that by 2, and for mine it equaled 21. So I was just writing it out so I didn't forget, because I do tend to forget these things. Sorry that my head's in the way. Anyway, yeah, so that was how we came to that measurement. Okay, I seem to be obsessively measuring, which is quite funny. Anyway, I really want that lip which is going to go over the end. That's going to be 1/2 inch, because I want to do a quarter of an inch turnover, and then a 1/4 inch, which I'm then going to sew down so that it does a nice edge. Obviously that's got to go on the end, which is going to be my pocket. This is the end, which is the top piece here. And then I'm going to go and fold up the waist, if you like, and come to the end. So this is the other end. This is the top of the pocket, if you like. So I've got all of the flappy bit there, which is fine, and then I'm coming over the edge, as you can see, to form that trim, edging, can't think of the word, but I guess you know what I mean. Yeah, I was going to add something, but I said to my mum, actually, why don't I just pull that over to the edge and come in over the fabric so that it's protecting it. So we both agreed I'd give it a go, and yeah, it worked really well, so I was very pleased with that. I wanted the fabric to go right to the top of that, because obviously you don't want it to have that bit of negative space, if you like, where you've got the top of that turnover and then the top of the fabric. So I was really quite conscious of getting that right to the top, which worked well. I'm really pleased with it. Now it's done, I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, so that's that going in there. Yeah, and I'm just showing you here that the fabric is at the top. Okay, now I'm moving the flap up to the top. This is the flap's going to obviously be your other pocket. You will end up with 2 pockets. One which would have been inside anyway, and then this flap of material which will make the second pocket. I need to make sure that, as you can see, the fabric at the bottom was lifted up, so I need to just make sure that that's right. and everything's flattened down, because obviously I've got to sew it. And so I was just obsessively patting my material, knocking my cow over. Yeah, because I was just trying to get it all laid out properly. Because once you sew it, you want it all right, of course. Okay, then I start doing some pinning. So I make sure that I've got everything in the right place. I just want to bring that down just to make sure that that's covering that right to the bottom. So I'm stretched it down a bit, and then I'll adjust the top. It's more important that we get every single side covered when we're doing this. And then I start pinning. Yeah, so note to self, when you're doing your pinning, if you're going to sew one way and then along the other and then up the other way, try and have your pins heads, if you like, facing the way you're going to sew, so that you're not pricking yourself with the pin every time you're sewing. I'm briefly showing with this bit that I've pinned down the edging, but I haven't pinned down the flap, because obviously we want to sew the top bit, but we don't want to sew the flap in. So we just need to be careful that when we're doing this, we're not sewing the flap in. I'm just going to put an edging on the front of this now, just a running stitch. I wanted to do it nicely though, so excuse me, it takes me a bit of time. It's actually really taken me by surprise how much I've enjoyed the process of slow stitching, should I say. And yeah, I'm just checking there that I haven't got the flap as well, because obviously I just want that front edge sewn down. But yeah, I do lots of different crafts, as you'll see on the channel. But I have trouble with my wrist, my right wrist, and what I've actually found is doing the 3D felting has been a real issue with my wrist. So I think I might have to call that one a day and carry on with my landscapes, but use my embellisher. I've got an embellisher to do my felted ones, and just do more stitching, I think, which is going to suit me more. I do spin, which is fine for my wrist. So yeah, so with those two things, I think I'm gonna, and especially with Mum helping me out as well, and really making a massive difference on the channel with her teaching, I've decided to maybe cut it down a little bit of what I'm doing, as I'm enjoying this so much. But yeah, I really love working with Mum. It's just nice that we've got spending this time together positively and enjoying the same thing, because usually she's doing her thing and I'm doing my thing. So it's really nice that we're both doing the same thing now. So yeah, so that's me attaching that front trim. I just can't think of the word. So edging, that's what I meant to say. Okay, as you can see now, the flap is not attached at all, which is great, which is what I wanted. And that's got a nice neat edging on there, which I'm really pleased with actually, because obviously I haven't had to put anything else on there. I've just used the lining and moved it up, so that's good. Okay, obviously I didn't want to finish with a knot on the lining, so I've gone through to the side, so I'm in between the lining and the front, making sure you can see. I'll get my needle caught. Yeah, I should have done a prick stitch there, but anyway, never mind. And then I'm just coming through the back, the middle, the middle back, to be able to finish off with just some back stitch, and then just a little knot. as I didn't want to finish with all of that on the lining, which we're going to see. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And then I put the knot in. Oh yeah, that was the bit I didn't want to go through. The needle came off. Such is life, isn't it? So you're trying to do something really easy and just finish off, and the needle comes, you know, the floss comes off the needle, and there we are again. Right, okay, there we are. That's that bit. Okay, because I was being called for tea, I just needed to quickly show you I was going to go down one side, across, and then up the other, not sewing the flap. Keeping the flap open, because obviously that's going to be our pocket. I was going to do this while I'd had my tea, and then I was going to sew it while I was watching some telly. So this is what it's ended up looking like with it all sewn up. So I've sewn all the way around the outside, like I've said, and I've brought that over to the front, and then I've come down here, and so everything is all done up. And I found this vintage button, which is just exactly the right colour, and it's got a shank on it, so that's going to be good. And I've chosen this as my tie-up round, which I'm going to fit, because I haven't gone all the way and I've left a bit of a gap there. I'm going to go in and just attach this so that I'm able to then do my tie round. But this is because I love green. I've just got lots of green bits and pieces, but I love sound. I like little sounds. You might hear sometimes I wear a bracelet, which I shouldn't do probably, but anyway, so I like the sound of that. So I'm going to be putting on some beads, which will make a bit of a sound as well when you undo it. I know, madness, but there we go. We can't all be the same, as we say. Hopefully that's covered that for this little portion of video, and we'll see you sometime next week with a tutorial of how to attach the lining with blanket stitch, or whatever stitch we're going to do. Okay, bye for now. Thank you. Bye.